Pisces. Hello, Amanda here. Welcome to the Unseen Hands Collective. This is going to be your January 2021 shift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. So Pisces, the image that's coming to me for you this month is drawing a line. It was like, this was the motion. It was like, okay, there's definitely sass to this. There's definitely like, I am drawing this line. I am delineating something clearly. So this could be talking about boundaries. This could just be talking about like making a clear transition, but there's something about I'm drawing a line. And then what's really funny is this card came out in your pre-shuffle from the Liminal Space deck, which is a deck normally reserved for the extendeds. It came out and it's try the opposite and look what's in it. A line right down the middle. So yeah, Pisces, you are drawing a line. It's like, if that was night, I'm drawing a line and now it's going to be day, right? Or like, okay, this is how things have been. I'm drawing a line and this is how they will be from now on. You know, it's making some sort of clear distinction or clear boundary for yourself. And then even wilder, can I just say, I shuffle these decks so much in between each reading. And this is the exact shift that just came out for Scorpio before you. Now, the message is coming out for you slightly different, but your cards, these two cards, are the same. You're shifting from the Nine of Swords, which says despair, and into the Three of Cups, which says joy. So yeah, talk about night and day. This is a shift from night to day, from despair to joy, and try the opposite really applies here. It's like you're just, whatever you're doing, you're making a stark change. You're drawing a line and this was that, and now it is this, you know? 2020 was night, 21, damn it, is gonna be day. You know, like whatever that is. And I think part of this transition really is, you know, 2020's been pretty intense, to say the least. The Nine of Swords is an energy. Clearly this person is alone. They're dealing with despair. Nine of Swords, Swords energy is mental. There's so much anxiety in this card. There's a sense of overwhelm, a sense of like doom and gloom here, that it's always going to be like this. A sensation that it's always going to be raining. I mean, it doesn't look like it's raining necessarily in this card, but this person has the umbrella out because it's like, it's just going to keep raining. It's just going to keep being horrible. The winds are blowing. It's rough. It's rough in this card. But then again, like this stark shift into joy, into openness and peace, surrounded by love. It's a huge... It is trying the opposite. And so whatever that means for you, like maybe there's a specific boundary that you need to draw in your life to make that kind of distinction, to shift the energy that you've been experiencing from like, okay, I got to do something, you know, like, yes, the world is what it is and things are very difficult. That is true. And also, it is not sustainable to stay in this energy. Something's got to change. So it's like drawing a clear line and prioritizing the ways that you can find joy, even in this rough space, in order, I think, to invite it in, because that's what we're getting from what your shape shift looks and feels like here. The Ten of Wands says completion, the Seven of Cups, imagination, and the Ace of Cups, the roots of water. And quite simply, this story is, it's time to bring something to an end. And I think it's this Nine of Swords. That's very clear. It's time to bring this to completion. You know, like that's part of the line being drawn. It's like, okay, this experience is complete. Whatever it is in my life that has perpetuated this experience, obviously you can't stop COVID-19. You know what I mean? But it's like, you can find wiggle room within COVID-19. You can find ways to access pleasure and access joy within circumstances that feel really constricting. It's much easier said than done. It is a struggle we are all trying to navigate, but this is here for you. You know, it's like, it's you saying, I am done. with this energy. I am done with my mind plaguing me with anxious thoughts and feeling constantly caught up in dread. It's a phase that needs to come to completion, you know, and the Ten of Wands is often talked about as a heavy load that you're carrying, like carrying a weight on you that can go no further. The tens are an end to a cycle, and I think this weight can go no further, and something has to shift, and it has to shift in a pretty stark way. A very firm line has to be drawn here. And then here's what we're seeing. Opening up. This is the process of opening up to joy, opening up to a new, a fresh emotional experience. Aces are new beginnings. It's a potential energy, a fresh energy. And the Ace of Cups is the potential for a fresh emotional experience, which is sorely needed after this energy of despair. And part of how you open up to that is through the Seven of Cups energy, which is opening up to your imagination, to imagine other possibilities other than doom, gloom, dread. To imagine that perhaps even now, even in these difficult times, even in this rough space, joy is possible. It's like that's just step one in this process. After you draw that line in the sand, all you have to do is open up your mind, open your imagination, open your heart, because we're dealing with all cups energy. Open your heart to believe that joy is possible, even in this space. And watch it begin to grow. Invite it in and see what happens. I mean, I love this Seven of Cups because we're literally seeing like a closet door opening. It's like, what I'm getting is just like this musty old closet filled with moths and mothballs and all this stuff that's creating this. And then suddenly, you know, you draw a line, you open the doors, you air that out. Air out that energy because it's time to invite in something fresh. And something fresh is definitely here for you. Pisces, I love this. This is really exciting. So I'm going to take it into an extended reading now. We're going to use other decks, pull some cards, and see if we can get more specifics with this energy. So if this is resonating with you, stick around. There'll be a little clip of the extended, a preview, so you can make sure it resonates. And if it does, head over to unseenhandscollective.com. The link is in the description box below. And you can find this extended reading in our shop or through our monthly memberships to receive them every month. All right, Pisces, thanks for joining me here. Happy New Year. What are the lines that delineate those emotional spaces inside of you? This is really cool, actually. It's like, I haven't thought of this like this, but it's like, where, now that you've gone to this space inside of you, it's like we're seeing two ends of like a spectrum of emotion here. Now that you've gone to this end, when do you know you're close to the line? You know, it's like you make this decision to shift your state of being from night to day, to shift from internal to external, to shift your mood, your experience, your outlook, whatever this is for you. Now, okay, great. So you've stepped over and you're into this other, you're into the land of the living. That's wonderful. Now, when do you start to feel yourself slip back and close to the line? You know, and like, what does that feel like for you internally, and what can you do when that happens? Like, I think the Queen of Swords is saying, hey, feel and be able to clearly identify as much as you can what that line is inside of you. And when you get close to it, develop strategies, plan ahead for when that's going to happen, because it inevitably is. Like, everything is cyclical, and COVID is, as of now, not going anywhere for a bit. So it's like, okay, if my outside circumstances aren't necessarily changing and I'm making a decision to shift my perspective within them, chances are you're gonna drift back towards a feeling, a sensation, an outlook or a habit, whatever this is for you, that you don't necessarily want to be in. So it's like when you find yourself drifting back towards that edge, what do? Develop a strategy now. Develop a strategy before you dip into that space so that you can say, oh, okay, I know it's happening. Let me latch onto my plan. Let me execute my plan and see if I can keep myself on the side of the line that I want to be in.